It's a Mom's Life.
We are rolling into the new year, new school, new work year for us all. Hello to all the moms out there or whoever else is watching. Welcome to It's a Mom's Life here on Active FM. And yes, it can be a little bit bittersweet, right? Mm-hmm. But whatever, and exciting, so either way. But, you know, whatever your view or your take on the new year is, it's going to be good, and we're going to trust God for that.
Absolutely. And yes, we have started the year already, and we make plans and we have dreams, you know, for the rest of the year. But without God, our dreams and our plans won't be any good.
That's it.
So today we are talking about fasting and what fast you can do for yourself and for your family.
Yeah, let's go.
The most amazing presenter.
For all your favorite shows.
It's all on Active FM.
Radio has never been better.
So as Thando said earlier, we'll be looking at different fasting types. And we got some info from www.justdisciple.com on the different things that you can do, because we know in different stages of life you fast differently to others, but fasting is still important. And the first part of the year is one of the most important times to fast, because we're wanting to give our first fruits, our first part of the year to God. And you can do this with your family as well.
No, absolutely. Fasting is so important to me because it's the time that I align myself with what God is doing, what His will is for my life. It's the time that I draw closer to God. Yeah. And obviously it's fasting and praying. Otherwise we're just dieting. So fasting and praying, of course, is just getting rid of all the worldly pleasures and just pursuit of God and what He's saying in this season of my life and in the season of your life. So as we start the new year, as children of God, I'd like to believe that we all want to align ourselves with the Father's heart and what He's wanting to do in and through us.
That's it. We're going to go into a song called All Things New, how appropriate, from Planet Boom.
Hey.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Are you ready?
You can stream Reactive's very own The Movement album on Spotify and Apple iTunes. Reactive is a movement.
Right, going into the fasting types, our first fasting type that we sort of took a look at was partial fasting. Now, partial fasting is when you refrain from eating sun up to sundown. So in other words, from the morning till like the afternoon. You can also do this from a certain time of day, for example, from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I normally fast, right? I normally fast by having no food till around 5 p.m. if I do this fast. So no food. When I wake up in the morning, no food. 5 p.m., that's it. You can also maybe have your food earlier, like at 6 o'clock, and then end it at a specific time. But you could also pair this with other fasts like your Daniel fast, right? You could even get your older kids to join in this one with you. But the main thing is to set your times and then stick to them. So whatever time you're setting to start your fast and end it, do those times.
No, absolutely. The second one is the Daniel fasting. And this is taken from the book of Daniel. It's Daniel's 10, verse 2 to verse 3. And what are the things that you can eat when you're doing this fast? So you can eat fruits and nuts. You can eat vegetables and drink water. And what not to eat when you're doing this type of fast is meats, pastries, chips, bread, fried food, coffee, and tea. And juice is optional because other people do drink some juice during that fast just for energy. And what is the purpose of fasting this way? It's to cleanse your body while we're praying and pressing into God's presence.
Yeah.
So before doing this fast, you need to decide how long you will fast for.
Yeah.
So, I think that's important with any fast. I'm starting from this time or for this period until whenever.
Days,
Some people do this fast for a week, where others may do for 3 weeks, exactly like Daniel did.
Yeah. I do, when I do that kind of fast, I do sort of, mix in some juices in that. But yes, the next one is complete fasting. So complete fasting is where you only drink water. You would not eat any solid foods. Some people choose to drink water and juice to help maintain some energy. So I would do that. So this is the fast we do as a church, and possibly not recommended for pregnant moms or breastfeeding or little kids, but definitely, it is definitely a harder fast than the normal ones. I do juice when we do this fast and soup, so I don't just drink water. As long as it's liquefied, just make sure that there's no solids. And trust me, if you think it's easy, try it for 3 days.
Yeah, God bless you if you do this fast.
The back of your mouth wants to bite something. It's but it's a good hard, if I can say that. Now, you can't do chunky soup, as I said. You need to make sure that it's packet soup, or you could make your own soup, but you need to make sure that you blend it down really good. So, I've done butternut, curry soup, etc. for this, fast coming up, but I made sure that there's no little chunky bits that you can now sit and eat on, because that's kind of like cheating, But the point is not to eat at all, just to drink. That is the point of this fast. Again, pick your amounts of days that you're going to fast. I'm actually trying to do that for 3 days every month myself. So like last year, myself and my husband actually did this fast for 3 days in the beginning of the month, sort of to prepare you for a 21-day fast, but also, just for us as a couple. So you can do 21 days now at the beginning of the year, like most churches I see do. But you can also just, test it out. Take 3-day fast, take 1-2 days, etc. But whatever it is, stick to it.
The next one is the absolute fasting. An absolute fast is based on both Paul and Esther's fast in the Bible. You do not eat or drink during this fast. So when you choose this fast, the strength of the Lord is with you.
Yeah.
So you're not drinking water, no juice, nothing, and you're not eating anything.
Yeah.
And you can find this fast in the book of Acts 9 verse 9 or in the book of Esther 4 verse 16. So in both stories, the fast was for 3 days. It would be recommended that you also do that fast for a short period of time as well, that you don't do a week or year or whatever you want to think of doing. But of course, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, this is not recommended for you.
Yeah, and I don't think for kids either.
Absolutely,
maybe even
yeah.
watch with your teenagers, because they do have to go to school and concentrate, and if they're not right for that. But and I think 21 days is a little bit long for that one. I don't know if anyone else has done it. You can comment in Facebook and whatnot. But yes, so that one I've never done before.
Hey.
I'm not sure I have the guts to do it.
Hey.
That's rough. We're going to go into a song called Don't Worry.
That's how it is and that's how it goes.
You're listening to Active FM.
Okay, so we're going to go into the next one, corporate fasting. Corporate fasting can be done in a variety of different ways. You could do a corporate fast with your church, a Bible study group, your spouse, and so on. Your group can decide what kind of fast you'll be doing and for how long. So we kind of do a corporate fast where we do the fast for 21 days, but we don't necessarily choose a specific fast for everyone because obviously everyone is in different situations and that. Some people may do a partial fast, others will do the Daniel fast, etc. But as long as you're fasting for 21 days, this is what we as a church do at the beginning of every year. And most churches I actually see on social media and that actually do that 21-day fast for the whole church.
The last but not least, there's obviously much more than this, but we just covered this because I think they are very good for us moms and families. The last one we're going to look at is sexual fasting. And the concept of sexual fasting comes from Paul. He poses the idea that through mutual consent, if I can say that to the married couple, mutual consent
In
would
other
be
words,
apart.
you both agree.
Yes, you both agree that not one person, the Lord spoke to me, but it's the Lord spoke to the both of you.
Yeah.
You both have, the same hearts in this. That apart you devote yourself to prayer and you do not come together sexually. And only if you're married. So if you're not married, this is not even a fast for you to consider because you shouldn't even be considering what we're talking about in this part. So that's it.
Yeah. So some of the do's and don'ts during the fast, this was quite interesting for me. So what to do when you fast.
Those are very good.
Prepare beforehand. So make sure that you get your times. I this time went and did my soups and that, so I'm ready. Get your juices, get your vegetables, whatever you're doing, and prepare. Have humility. Focus on God rather than the food you are eating. So don't try not to focus on the fact that you're going to have your soup at the end of the day or your food at the end of the day or whatever. Try and just be focused on God. Praying often and worship, repenting during this time because there's lots of things that we should be repenting of.
That's very good.
And disciple your mind. I thought that was quite a nice one because often we want to, the Bible says disciple people, but actually you should also be discipling your mind, making sure that your mind is in the right place and space.
That's very good.
What not to do, boast about your fasting. So again, humility and don't speak about it unless, you really have to, like someone is you needing to speak, but don't say I'm fasting today, everyone look at me, I'm fasting, and get all dramatic. It's more of a humble thing that you're doing. Don't think about food so often or whatever you are fasting all the time. So I actually thought about this. Even social media, if something comes up, in fact, why don't just fast social media? Like if food recipes come up and that's probably not the best idea for you to be looking at those things. So I'm going to try and block those for as much time as possible. And then judge people who are not fasting. Don't judge people who are not fasting. If they can't fast, don't want to fast, are not into fasting, it's not about you judging them. It's between them and God, just like it's between you and God. Don't judge other people, leave them be.
No, very good. And the verse that we're ending off with today is Isaiah 58 verse 7. It says, "Why have we fasted and you see it not? Why have we humbled ourselves and you take no knowledge of it? Behold, in the day of your fast, you seek your own pleasures and oppress all your workers." So this is like the people asking and then God responding as to why he hasn't seen their fasting is because they're oppressing people and they're seeking their own pleasures. So your heart behind fasting is what truly matters. The Bible tells us to not seek our own pleasures while we're fasting. We are to fast with our whole hearts, not just doing it to look good, like Denise just explained now. You want to tell everyone that, hey, look, I'm fasting. You're not doing to seek approval from other Christians or, to look good with other people, but fasting is a time to seek the Lord and not to spend time focusing on what you have given up, but is focusing on what is the will of God for my life in this time or in this year.
Yeah, that's good. So focusing on the will of God, not that nice car you want or that nice husband or wife that you want. Absolutely. If you're not a parent on the show. But yes, seeking God's will. I love that. That's awesome. So we're going to be ending off the show today. We hope you had a really informative time, a really good time on the show. Please do, go like us on Facebook, go chat to us on Facebook. But we're going to be ending off today with a song called Passion from Reactive on the album The Movement. And that's it. We will see you next week.
Next week.
Bye.
Passion I pursue.
listening to? Follow us on Yelp and Twitter at Active FM.
Instagram at ActiveFM777 and Facebook at /ActiveFM.
Active FM. Radio has never been better.